Hey guys, it's Sam with The Blind Life. Welcome back to the channel where I help you learn how to, what? Anybody? Anyone? Anyone? Live your best blind life. Yes, that's right. You guys are right. Awesome. Today we are continuing our series on Apple Watch accessibility. In our first video, we talked about VoiceOver and the zoom magnifier. If you guys would like to learn more about that, you can click the card, the video link card popping out right now. I'll also put a link in the doobly-doo down below. But today we're going to be talking about all the other accessibility options for the blind and visually impaired on the Apple Watch. So let's run the intro and then we will get right into it. Alrighty then, before we get started, I'd like to give a huge thank you to our sponsor today, the Kovol Charging Mate. Really amazing charger. We'll talk more about that later. But now let's get into the other accessibility options on the Apple Watch. And just like with VoiceOver and Zoom, it's going to be a lot of the same stuff we see on the iPhone and the iPad. Probably Macs. I don't know. I don't have a Mac, so I'm not sure, but probably. So stuff we're very familiar with, just shrunk down, small, and working on the watch. All right, let's rearrange the camera and we'll take a look at it. All right, first things first, I need to give a huge thank you once again to Mike for letting me use this watch to make these videos. Big thanks to Mike. But let's go ahead and get started. First, we're going to jump into the accessibility settings, and we're just going to kind of systematically go through there and see what settings are available.
Back button.
So I'm already in accessibility settings.
Accessibility, vision, heading, VoiceOver, on, Zoom, on.
VoiceOver and Zoom, we took a look at those last time.
Bold text, switch button, off.
So bold text, let's turn that on.
Tap to toggle setting, on.
And there you go, that's what bold text looks like. We'll leave that on from now on. On/off labels makes them a little bit easier to see.
Grayscale, switch button, off.
Grayscale, double tap.
On.
So this just sets everything to grayscale, basically turns off the colors.
Off.
And turn that back off, because I like the colors. Color contrast works really well for me.
Reduce transparency, switch button, off.
Reduce transparency.
Double tap to toggle setting.
Some of your pages may be like semi-transparent, and sometimes...
Grayscale, switch button, off.
Why did you just go up? Anyway, sometimes
Double tap to toggle setting.
And sometimes that might cause issues seeing what's on the page if there's this semi-transparent background.
Double tap to toggles on.
Go ahead and turn that on.
Improve contrast by reducing transparency and blurs on some backgrounds to increase legibility.
There you go, pretty much what I said.
Reduce motion.
Reduce motion, very similar concept. Sometimes the pages will slide in, or maybe if you click on something there's a little bit of a bounce effect. So you can reduce that, and that might help you see some of these things a little bit better.
Chimes.
So Chimes is pretty cool. That you can turn on an hourly chime. So whenever the watch turns over to the next hour, the watch will play a little chime effect.
Chimes. Switch button on.
I have that turned on because I like that.
Double tap to schedule. Hourly.
So you can change the schedule.
Sounds. Birds.
I have the bird sound effect going.
When this is on, which chimes? Heading. Back button.
And that is about it. I think you have like 3 or 4 chime sounds effects you can do.
Back chimes.
All right, before we take a look at the rest of the accessibility options, let's talk about charging all of your devices. It's an unfortunate necessity these days. All of these cool toys and assistive technology, they need to be charged up. And what's also unfortunate is there are a ton of cheap chargers on the market that you can completely waste your money on. So that's why it was really cool when a company reached out and said that they had a very high-end charger that they would like to share with me. This is the Kovol Charging Mate 65 watt 4-port charger. Has 2 USB Type-C power ports and 2 USB Type-A quick charging ports. So you can simultaneously charge up to 4 devices. If you want to charge up your iPad and your Android phone, or your Apple Watch and your Samsung Watch all at the same time, you can do that. This thing is fantastic, and it is really, really well made. It's also very safe. It has specialized power delivery sensing technology inside that will help regulate the power that's being sent out to the devices and won't cause any issues overcharging something. The nice thing is, if you have an area like a desk in your house that you tend to charge everything, you can simply plug this up and then have a little charging station for all your gear, charge up to 4 devices at once. I took this on a trip with me recently and used it in the hotel, plugged it up next to the bed and the nightstand area, and was able to charge up everything that I needed for that trip. My phone, my watch, my tablet, even my cameras and GoPro and my mirrorless camera here was able to charge all of those things almost at the same time, 4 of them at the same time without any problems. And 2 of those were quick charging. So really, really cool. Definitely recommend this guy. And the best part, saving the best part for last, it's affordable. $50 for this. So for the price of 2 of those cheap ones, you can get 1 high quality Kovol charging mate and charge up 4 devices at once. 2 of them being quick charging. So huge thank you to Kovol for sending this out to me. And as always, I will have a link to this product in the description down below.
Assistive touch, off.
So then we do have some motor impairment options. Assistive touch.
Side button click speed.
Change the
Default.
speed of the side button click.
Touch accommodations, off.
And then touch accommodations.
Auto answer calls, off.
Since these aren't inherently visually impaired accessibility settings, I'm not going to go too deeply into these, but feel free to jump in there and kind of play around with them. This auto answer effect might be helpful for some people.
33%, adjustable, taptic time speed, heading.
Taptic time. So this is an interesting one, and I'll probably do a video about this by itself. I have it turned on here. Basically, when you give a certain tap command on
Chimes.
Why does it keep jumping back? But whenever you give a certain tap combination on the watch, a 2-tap, a 3-tap, you can get your time haptically or by vibration. Pretty cool, pretty useful. I know Kayla with a C, she did a video about this where she talked about when she works with clients, and she said that she wanted to be able to tell the time for like a session without interrupting the session, without disturbing anybody by having the time read out loud to her. So the taptic time works great for her. She can just do the tap on the screen and it will vibrate the time, and she can get that information without disturbing everybody. So that's pretty cool. We'll probably do a video about that in the future.
Accessibility shortcut, accessibility shortcut.
And then you have your accessibility shortcut. I've got mine set to VoiceOver because that's the easiest, or that's the most frequently thing I need to activate. And what that shortcut is 3 clicks of your side button here, your crown button, digital crown I think they call it. So if I click, click, click,
VoiceOver off.
turns off VoiceOver, click, click, click. Takes a second, but does.
VoiceOver on.
There it
Back
is.
button.
Turns VoiceOver on.
App display and brightness.
Now let's jump into display and brightness real quick,
Appearance.
just to
heading.
take a look at some of those.
High, adjustable. Text size,
So we can adjust the text size.
100%, adjustable.
I have mine set to 100%.
Swipe up or down with 1 finger to adjust the 100%. Back text size, bold text, wake, heading. Wake on wrist raise, switch button, off.
Wake on wrist raise, tongue twister. I turned that off because, like I said in my last
Text
video,
size.
I gesture a lot, and every time I was lifting my arm up, the watch would wake up. And that was driving me crazy because it would wake up and it would tell me the time, even when I didn't really want it. So I have it set, I have it turned off, and basically all I do is I touch the face of the watch now to wake it up and get the time. And that's much more convenient for me. And that's about it for the display and brightness. Something I should mention, a question I got a lot in my last video, what Apple Watch am I using? I am using the Apple Watch SE. I believe it's the little bit more simplified version of the 6th generation, Apple Watch 6, I believe. Okay guys, huge thank you for watching the video. Hopefully that was helpful. Once again, big thank you to Mike for letting me use the watch. Also, another thank you to our sponsor, Kovol, the charging mate. Really, really cool. Link in the description for that. But that's it guys. Stay tuned in the future for more videos about Apple Watch accessibility, including a head-to-head competition, Apple Watch versus Android. Dun, 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 dun. It's gonna be an Apple Watch versus a Samsung watch. Should be really interesting and maybe surprising results. Stay tuned for that. As always, this is Sam with The Blind Life. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to hit the like button, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.